Okay, we've come to another desert episode set in the Sahara. This one is called The Uninvited. This is one of my favourite episodes because it focuses entirely on Scott Tracy. He's the hero here.
Yeah, he really has his moments here because he's not just... he doesn't really set up mobile control at all. He ends up becoming the victim of an attack from a strange organisation of quite non-PC Saharans. And so then he ends up being shot down.
Yeah, essentially, after crashing down. It's quite violent, really, him getting shot down by these mysterious fighters. And then he literally, he cuts his head open and he collapses. There's this great shot of him hanging out of the side of Thunderbird 1. And, yeah, the two guys, I forget their names, one of them's called Lindsay. But these two guys, they're treasure hunters, essentially. And they find him and they help him repair Thunderbird 1 and fix him up. Thunderbird 2 comes out and they all just get together and just basically mosey over Scott and make sure he's okay, making him pies and food and shit.
And later on, these guys carelessly lose a lot of their equipment, and so they end up without supplies, gasping for water, and quite strange you come across this pyramid that they've been looking for, a very ancient, legendary pyramid that is said to only appear in legend, but somehow 2,065 years into the future, nobody's found it.
Yeah. Thirsty for water, first off they call International Rescue. So Scott, fresh off of taking Alan up to Thunderbird 5, comes back down and has to pretty much go back out to the Sahara to save these two guys who saved him. So he's just up and down like a fucking jack-in-the-box in this episode. His work is never done.
No, it never is. I mean, I guess this is this is probably some of the things or problems imposed upon someone if they're the oldest, because he's the eldest of the group, and so he's like the second-in-command to Jeff Tracy. He's always running around and doing the heavy work just before the other guys come in.
Yeah. But anyway, these two guys, they go down into the pyramid, and yeah, a lot of morbid imagery in there. We see a skeleton up against the side, and I'm like, oh, a skeleton in Thunderbird, quite, along with the blood on Scott's face, you got the skeleton there. At one point, one of the guys gets gold fever and just turns into a fucking madman, sees Scott Tracy come to save them, and he's like, you've come for my treasure! Starts shooting at him, and he's like, you're gonna die, Tracy! You're gonna die!
This is one of the more violent episodes, because you see a gun battle ensued, and you see also what appears to be this terrorist organisation. That's what we've deduced, because we don't find out who these people are. The way they speak, which we have to say really is quite offensive now if you're watching this with the Arab Spring, or the war in Iraq, or War on Terror, and the whole Charlie Hebdo problems. But
it's a strange kind of, just mixed Arabic dialect. It's just nonsense, really.
And they look suspiciously like Ming the Merciless. Anyone who's seen Flash Gordon knows what we're talking about. But whoever these people are, they seem to run or use this pyramid as a facade, and down below, Scott discovers that they have this strange mineral facility that helps them create these weapons and equipment that we see shooting him down in the first place.
And it's all up to Scott to play John McClane and just blow the fuck out of it while saving these two guys. He's a real action hero in this. That's really why I like this episode. He gets to show off Scott Tracy as being this big action hero.
Yeah, it's just never explained who these people are, and somehow they know who the Thunderbirds are, so our assumption probably is maybe they're in league with, say, the Hood, or anyone else who just wants to rain terror upon the world and make sure International Rescue doesn't get in the way, because they're the do-gooders.
It could be one of the explanations as to why they shot Thunderbird 1 down in the beginning. The idea that they could be in league with the Hood.
Presumably, they're just people who don't want Westerners in their part of the world, and maybe they just felt, oh, here's the white man, he's gonna rain his terror of globalization upon us, we have to stop him. It does sound very much like ISIS, if you think about it.
This is 2065's version of ISIS, and they're arms to the teeth.
Yeah, with very interesting weapons as well, and they've somehow fashioned their own minerals, or their own underground military, which is quite interesting.
The setting is wonderful in this. Not only have you got this vast and open desert, which, props to the set designers there for building this fantastic desert landscape, but you've got the pyramid, and you've got the interior of the pyramid with all these hieroglyphics and stuff. Great attention to detail, as we always expect from Thunderbirds. And you've got the gold and the fountain, and essentially as well, when you go underneath the pyramid, you see all this facility. It's really amazing construction work.
And Scott destroys it all out of an act of aggression. I mean, he is being aggressive, and he feels that this place has to go up, so it just goes to show that he can be a bit hot-blooded as well as being
cool-tempered. Yeah, offense is often the best defense.
Sometimes, they say. I'm not so sure. But this really is an interesting episode, I'd say, because this is the first place we see Thunderbird 3 in action.
That's right. Thunderbird 3, we see the whole lift-off with the sofa swapping over the whole time. That's great as well, you know, them going down on the sofa, going on along this long track to Thunderbird 3. I always wonder the kind of conversations they may have whilst just sitting there just like, oh yeah, there's rescue now, oh, we're going to go on rescue, yeah.
Did you see that ludicrous display last night?
Oh, what was Walcott thinking? All the while they're going up into Thunderbird 3. And we also see, along with the firsts of Thunderbird 3 taking off, it docking with Thunderbird 5 and Alan replacing John. Although we don't see John come back to the island. We see Scott arrive fine, but John has mysteriously vanished. We were thinking maybe there's no way that Thunderbird 5 has enough running water to have plenty of showers going for John. So maybe after a month up there with no showers, first thing he does after landing on Tracy Island, just get in the shower.
Yeah, how do astronauts keep clean? I've always been baffled by that.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I guess water wouldn't be running in space in zero gravity. I mean, even in...
Oh, you mean when he turns on the shower, it just floats, he's like there, ready to catch it, and it just floats away, he's like...
Oh, dear me, God. So, poor old John, eh?
Poor John, indeed. Can't catch a break.
No, he never can. Well, this was a very exciting episode, I have to say.
Yeah, I love this episode. Definitely one of my all-time favourite ones.
So yeah, it's quite, maybe it's a bit of a metaphor for social commentary, or also about getting, you know, drunk with power, or gold drunk again, perhaps.
But it's absolutely action-packed, thrills and spills and twists and turns. Just a very exciting episode.
Anyone who's seen the Mummy films better check this one out.
The Mummy films, yeah. They were something that I was reminded of.
Oh yeah, very much.
So tune in for the next episode, which is another Thunderbird 3 based episode, Sun Probe.
Ooh, I hope this one.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this one. We very rarely get to see Thunderbird 3 in action, so hopefully it should be awesome.
If they be.
If they be.